Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see the daily current affairs of August 27. So today we are going to discuss the topics of Education Ministry defines literacy, full literacy in push for adult literacy, which we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, space extra test, new tech in risky private spacewalk, which also comes under prelims perspective. Next, the working behind some simple medical tools one sees in a doctor's office, so which we have to know under GS3 Science and Technology. Next, railways eyes nuclear energy, which comes under GS3 Indian economy. Next, unified lending interface, which we have to know under terms. Next, editorial analysis, and finally we'll be seeing the international organization. So our first topic is Education Ministry defines literacy, full literacy in push for adult literacy. So first we have to know why it is in news. The Indian government has redefined literacy to include reading, writing, computation, and critical life skills. The new Indian literacy program, that is NILP, aims to onboard 1 crore learners annually. Despite progress, significantly literacy challenges persist with 25.76 crore non-literate individuals, highlighting the need for continued effort and funding. So with this we have to know about new definition for literacy. The government defines literacy as the ability to read, write, and compute with comprehension, including critical life skills like digital and financial literacy, which reaches 95% literacy in the state and union territories. Next, individuals are considered literate under the NILP if they pass the foundational literacy and numeracy assessment test, that is FLNTA. So this what is this foundational literacy and numeracy assessment test? FLNAT is a nationwide assessment conducted in India to evaluate the foundational literacy and numeracy skills of registered non-literate learners. It assesses reading, writing, and numeracy skills in regional languages aligned with the National Education Policy 2020. Learners who qualify receive a certificate from the National Institute of Open Schooling, that is NIOS, recognizing their achievement in foundational literacy and numeracy. Next, the statistical data on literacy in India. According to 2011 census, India had 25.76 crore non-literate individuals aged 15 and above, with 9.8 crore males and 16.68 females. In this, 9.08 are males, 16.68 crores are females. Next, Sakshar Bharat. So it has certified 7.64 crore individuals as literate between 2009 to 10 and 2017 to 18. Next, the third is 2023 FLNAT. So more than a 39 lakh adult learners appeared with 36 lakh certified as literate in 2024 FLNAT. Above 34 lakh learners appeared and 29 lakh were certified, down from 89.64% to 91.27% in 2023. So with this we have UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2018. Consider the following statement. As per the Right of Education Act, to be eligible for appointment as a teacher in state, a person would be required to possess the minimum qualification laid down by Concentrated State Council of Teacher Education. As per the RTA Act for teaching primary classes, a candidate is required to pass a teacher eligibility test conducted in accordance with National Council of Teacher Education guidelines. Next, in India, more than 90% of teacher 5 education institutions are directly under the state governments. Which of the statement given above is correct? So the statement B is correct. So only second statement is correct. Our next topic is about SpaceX to test new tech in risky private spacewalk. So here the first private spacewalk featuring new technology such as slim spacesuits and modified Crew Dragon with no airlock. Launching on Tuesday, it aims to reach altitudes of 700 km, testing equipment in high radiation environments and making a significant private spaceflight milestone. Now we have to know about SpaceX mission. So SpaceX Polaris Dawn mission introduces innovative spacewalk technology. It features new slim spacesuits and modified Crew Dragon vehicle capable of opening its hatch to directly into space, eliminating the need for an airlock. This mission, launching a billionaire, a retired fighter pilot, and two space engineers aim to reach 700 km altitude when beyond the ISS. Crew Dragon and spacesuits will be tested against high radiation environments in Van Allen Bell. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2018. With reference to India's satellite launch vehicle, consider the following statements. PSLVs launch the satellites useful for Earth resources monitoring, whereas GSLVs are designed mainly to launch communication satellites. Satellites launched by PSLV appear to remain permanently fixed in the same position in the key as viewed from particular location on the Earth. GSLV Mk3 is four-stage launch vehicle with the first and third stages using solid rocket motors and the second and fourth stages using liquid rocket engines. Which of the statement is given above is are correct? So here the answer is A. Only first statement is correct. Our next topic is about the working behind some simple medical tools one sees in a doctor's office. So the article explains how common medical instruments like thermometers, stethoscopes, weighing scales, and spirometers function scientifically, detailing their mechanism in healthcare for accurate measurements. So here some of the list of tools used in a doctor diagnosis. So they are first thermometer. It uses to measure body temperature. Here, their description is mercury thermometer features a mercury filled bulb and glass capillary with numerical markings. Temperature change causes the mercury to expand or contract, moving through the capillary to indicate temperature. Next, the digital thermometer utilizes sensors like infrared or thermistors to detect temperature change, which they are can converted into digital readings. Next, the stethoscope. It listens to the internal body sounds. First, the acoustic stethoscope. Acoustic stethoscope. So comprises a diaphragm for high frequency sounds and a bell for low frequency sounds connected by a tube to earpiece. Next, electronic stethoscope. Electronic stethoscope amplifies body sounds electronically and may include recording capabilities and additional diagnostics such as electrocardiograms. These devices transmit sound data to smartphones or other devices. Next, the weighing scales. It uses to measure body weight. First, the spring scale. Uses a spring under a plate. Weight is measured by the degree of spring compression or extension. Requires calibration to account for local gravity variations. Next, electronic scale. So converts the medical force of weight into electrical signals using load cells or strain gauges displayed as weight readings on a digital screen. Next, spirometer. So it uses to measure the blood pressure. First, the manual spirometer includes an inflatable cut off linked to a mercury or aneroid manometer. Uses a stethoscope to detect blood flow sounds for determining systolic and diastolic pressures. Next, the electronic spirometer uses oscillometric technology to sense pressure oscillations caused by arterial blood flow, automating blood pressure measurement, easier for home use but may have accuracy issues in patients with certain cardiovascular conditions. So with this, we have the UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2019. In the context of wearable technology, which of the following tasks are accomplished by wearable devices? Location identification of a person, sleeping monitoring of a person, Assisting the hearing impaired person. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here the answer is D. All the three statements are correct statement. So our next topic is about railways, ice, nuclear energy. So first we have to know about why it is in news. Indian Railways is pursuing net zero carbon emission by 2030, exploring nuclear and renewable energy sources including solar and wind power. It aims for 30,000 megawatts of renewable capacity, partnering with various organizations to reduce operating costs and dependence on fossil fuels. So, Indian Railway aims to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2030 to the plans to install 30,000 megawatts of renewable energy. The railway is exploring the use of captive nuclear power alongside solar, wind and hydro energy to reduce fossil fuel dependence. The railway plans to establish its own captive power generating units including small reactors to lower operating costs. It spends approximately Rs 20,000 crore annually on electric for trains and it facilitates. In 2023, the railways accomplished 147 MB of solar power and 103 megawatts of wind power, and with additional 2,150 megawatts of renewable capacity secured. Next, we have to know about potential for renewable energy in Indian Railways. First, in that we'll be seeing the prospects. Under prospects, we'll be having sustainable, substantial capacity. Next, environmental impact. Third, energy independence. Fourth, technological advancement. Next, the challenges. The challenges are initial investment, intermittency, third, infrastructure development, fourth, regulatory hurdles, fifth, maintenance and operational cost. So with this, we have the UPSC mains question which have been asked in 2014. The setting up of a rail tariff authority to regulate fares will subject to the cash-strapped Indian Railways to demand subsidies for obligation to operate non-profitable routes and services, taking into account the experiences the power sector discussed. If the proposed reform is expected to benefit the consumers, the Indian Railways or the private container operators. So you can practice on this question. So our next topic is about unified lending interference. The Reserve Bank is piloting an application for frictionless credit, unified lending interference. It will be launched nationwide soon and will become the UPI on the credit side. So first we have to know about the background. In August 2023, the RBI initiated a pilot project for a public tech platform designed to streamline credit process aiming to reduce cost, expedite disbursements and enhance scalability. Recently, RBI Governor proposed naming this platform the Unified Lending Interface. He expressed that much like UPI revolutionized the payments ecosystems, is expected to similarly transform the lending landscape in India. Now, what is the need for this ULI? India's rich digitalization has led to the development of digital public infrastructure, encouraging innovation in payments, credits, and financial services by banks, NBFCs, fintech companies, and startups. Next, this ULI, that is Unified Lending Interface, enable a seamless consent-based flow of digital information, including state land records from the multiple sources of lenders. This will expedite credit appraisals, particularly benefiting smaller and rural borrowers. ULI improves digital access from diverse sources for lenders. The ecosystem is based on consent of political borrowers and data privacy protector. Next, their benefits. ULI would address the large unmet demand for credit, especially in agriculture and MSME sectors, by digitizing access to financial and non-financial data currently household in separate systems. Next, we have to know about Unified Payment Interface, that is UPI. UPI is a system that powers multiple bank accounts into a single mobile application. It does so by merging several banking features seamless fund routing and merchant payments into one hood. In other words, UPI is an interference via which one can transfer money between bank accounts across a single window. It was launched in year 2016 by National Payments Corporation of India, that is NPIC. Now, what are the futures of UPI? Immediate money transfer through mobile service round the clock of 24 into 7 and 365 days. Single mobile application for accessing different bank accounts. Next, what are the benefits of UPI? We have benefits for banks, merchants, and customers. Under banks, a universal application for one transaction, a single click to factor authentication, safer and more secure, enables every transaction unique identifier. For merchants, easier fund collection, in-app payments, no risk of storing the customer's virtual address, tap customers not having credit or debit cards. And for customers, single application for accessing various bank accounts, round the clock activability. One can easily raise a complaint from the mobile app directly. Use of virtual ID is secure. Now, what is UPI transaction statistics? According to National Payments Corporation of India, data payments using UPI are rupees 20 lakh crore in the value of July 2024. Next, the total transaction count was 14 lakh million in July 2024. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about editorial analysis. Under editorial analysis, we are going to discuss the topic crime, health, worker safety, and self-examination. Here, the article addresses the rising violence against healthcare workers in India, particularly following the death of a doctor in Kolkata. It critiques the conventional focus on hospital security and calls for deeper reforms to tackle systematic corruption in public health care, emphasizing the need for transparency, oversight, and accountability. Now, what is the response to the violence? So, in 2017, Maharashtra witnessed protest from the resident doctors following multiple attacks on medical personnel. The immediate solution included improving hospital security and strengthening legal mechanisms to punish offenders. Despite these efforts, swift justice in such cases has rarely been seen, with incidents continuing even during COVID-19 pandemic. Now, deeper underlying problem. The brutal death of a resident doctor in Kolkata has led the Supreme Court of India to take suo motu cognizance of the matter, while the response suggests the creation of a national task force focuses on improving hospital safety, example, better infrastructure, CCTV surveillance, and night transport for medical workers. That measures fail to address the deeper issue in corruption. The West Bengal government introduced the Rachaya Shadi program to enhance safety for women in night shifts, but this too seems to conflate the issue with general health work violence. Now, what are the conventional solutions fall short? The conventional responses, such as improved hospital security and new legislation, have failed to address the root cause of violence against health workers. The real problem lies in corruption, particularly in underfunded public health systems. Organized corruption may have contributed to the Kolkata incident and other similar cases with disastrous consequences for both health workers and patients. With this, we have to know about the systematic corruption. So, under WHO estimates on corruption in healthcare, it says the corruption costs around $455 billion annually worldwide, a figure greater than what is required for universal health coverage. In developing countries, corruption rather than a mere lack of funds is a major factor contributing to the healthcare crisis and poor outcomes. Next, the limitation of current safety measures is improving security for health workers and modernizing hospital infrastructure, while important will not be sufficient to tackle the problem of corruption. Now, what are the deeper problem in the healthcare sector seen? So first one is healthcare violence, then the ineffective response are the deeper problems in the healthcare sector. Now what is the present scenario of legal protection to healthcare professionals? No central law existed to safeguard healthcare workers as nationwide. As 2020, 19 states have implemented their statutes, each with varying provisions. Other states, union territories, and had no laws at all. This lack of uniformity means protection is inconsistent. Among states, Kerala, Karnataka now provide their healthcare workers with most robust legal protections in India. Challenges in enhancing a central law. A central law has been enacted because public health is state subject and VAHCW is primarily a public health related issues. While the concurrent list allows for a central law, the central government has no prioritized the issue, leaving to its states to manage. Our next topic is about Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which comes under international organization topic. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, that is AIIB, is a multilateral development bank with a mission to improve social and economic outcomes in Asia. It was established by AIIB Articles of Agreement entered into force December 25, 2015, which is multilateral treaty. The parties, that is 57 founding members to agreement, compromises the membership of the bank. It is headquarters in Beijing and began its operation in January 2016. By the end of 2020, AIAB had 103 approved members representing approximately 79% of the global population and 65% of global GDP. By investing in sustainable infrastructure and other productive sectors in Asia and beyond, it will better conserve people, services, and markets that over time will impact the lives of billions and build a better future. Next, the objectives of AIIB. The foster sustainable economic development, create wealth and improve infrastructure connectivity in Asia by investing in infrastructure and other productive sectors. To promote regional cooperation and partnership in addressing development challenges by working in close collaboration with other multilateral and bilateral development institutions. It to utilize the resource as disposal for financing such development in the region include those projects and programs which will contribute most effectively to the harmonious economic growth of the region. Next, the paid up share capital. It is the amount of money that has already been paid by investors in exchange for shares to talk. Next, called up share capital. Some companies may issue shares to investors with the understanding they will be paid at a later date. This allows for more flexible investment terms and may enter investors to contribute more share capital than if they had to provide funds upfront. China is the largest contributor to the bank, contributing 15 billion US dollars, half of the initial subscribed capital. India is the second largest shareholder, contributing USD 8.4 billion. So that's all from today's topic. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.